Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be doing a continuation of our beginner's guide with survivors. Now, in the last beginner's guide, I went ahead and covered all of the UI and the currencies and stuff, so we're just going to jump right into it. If this is your first time playing Survivor or you're coming back after a long break, I would highly suggest you focus on spending blood points on Meg Thomas first of all, for her 3 perks, and then probably Claudette if you don't have Kate Denson unlocked, which the majority of you won't. She's a paid character. But the reason why I say get Meg first is due to her 3 perks, which are very good. Sprint Burst is the best exhaustion perk in the entire game, and it's on a free character. Quick and Quiet, it's okay. It's not bad, not good. Windows of Opportunity is from Kate. It's an extremely good perk that allows you to see pallets and vaults through walls. And then to top this off, we're going to use Deja Vu, which is a general perk, meaning every survivor at every level has access to it. Now, unlike killers, survivors have items instead of powers. There are different types of toolboxes, different types of flashlights, maps, keys, as well as medkits. And to keep things simple, there are toolboxes for hooks and toolboxes for generators. There are keys for hatches and then basically useless keys. And every single item has its own set of add-ons. Now, similarly to the way the Blood Web works for killers, the Blood Web also works very similar for survivors, allowing you to unlock other survivor perks. As we see again here, when I prestige, I unlock the tier 3 version of Meg's Perks for all other survivors. This is because I got her to P3, Prestige 3. Now, Claudette, she has one very good perk. She has one okay perk, one very good perk, and then one perk that a lot of new survivors get trapped into using because they think it's good, which is self-care. Now, a quick recommendation, Jake Park has 2 decent perks, Iron Will and Saboteur. Saboteur you don't really want to use unless you're in a squad, like a pre-made squad. Fang Min, she's also a good honorable mention. She has Live, which allows you to have a speed boost after vaulting a pallet or a window. Now, Kate Denson, she has one very, very good perk, Windows of Opportunity. And Boil Over is kind of okay. Dance With Me is very niche, very useless 99% of the time. And as you can see, we have all these different survivors with all these different perks. But just for the sake of the video, we're going to focus on this one generalized perk set that single-handedly got me to Iridescent 1 on Survivor, which really isn't too impressive. It's just a matter of time spent, really. We're going to be using Deja Vu for an extra gen repair speed bonus, Sprint Burst, Botany Knowledge, and Windows of Opportunity. It's also worth pointing out that sometimes the loading tips will actually tell you what the killer is. Alright, Disturbed Ward, and we're going against the Krasue, which is actually an S tier killer, one of the better killers in the game. And as you can see right off the bat, Windows of Opportunity is helping us a lot. It's highlighting all pallets and vaults within a 32-meter range. Let me go ahead and crouch here. Now, one thing to note. Sprint Burst, because it's an exhaustion perk, after you sprint, that's when it activates. You'll get a 50% speed bonus for, I believe, 3 seconds. And it goes on cooldown for around 40. There are perks to reduce the cooldown, but generally speaking, you want to save it until you absolutely need it. Now, a lot of survivors would typically run away right here, but I try and get as much progress on this gen as I can until she forces me to leave. Ooh, if I didn't get that skill check there, I would have ran away. Okay, 2 very important things just happened right here. In the bottom right, we have two, or the bottom right, we have two side effects. One is the Oblivious side effect, and Vigil. Vigil reduces our negative side effects, aka on the right side of the screen, the heart and the hand over the eyes, by a little bit, if we stay close. Now, the green mushrooms are great for the Krasue because they help get rid of her plague infection. I'm going to unlock a chest in the hopes that I find a med kit. Probably won't, but hey, you never know. Nope. Now, Deja Vu also marks 3 generators that are in very close proximity to each other. So the speed boost is nice, but I usually use this as a solo queue survivor to help break those 3 gens. AKA make the killer's job a little harder. It is also worth noting that if you're having trouble finding generators without Deja Vu, look for flashing lights on indoor maps, and outdoor maps you can usually see generators with lights above them. Now I'm going to go for the unhook save here, because I can see my teammate, my Claire, is in chase, which means it should be relatively safe to get her off the hook. Now she wants me to heal her, and I was going to save my sprint burst there, but said, what the heck. Now, whenever you're doing a generator or healing... Yep, oh, saw the killer right there. Too slow. We're going to go ahead and pre-drop the pallet. Alright. My teammate, the Yui, she got away, but they picked me up, and bloop, I'm on the hook. We're honestly doing okay so far. I mean, 3 hooks, 3 gens left, not bad, could be worse. This killer seems to be running a Oblivious build, which means every time we get hooked, we're gonna be applied the Oblivious status effect via a perk. I'll put that perk on screen. And as you can see, I'm healing my teammate off hook, which you typically do not want to do. That is a very bad idea. But the only reason we did it is because we can see the Krasue is chasing our other teammate halfway across the map, so we know we're safe. Right here, I can hear the generator above me is pretty well progressed. I'm going to go ahead and head up there and finish it, which will end up being kind of a mistake, but the thing is with Survivor, you can... I might anger some people with this, but with Survivor, you can make quite a few mistakes before they actually matter, really. I can see that Fang is working on another gen. She's about to pop it. Okay. The Yui is officially out of the game, and we have a pretty tight 3-gen. I think our best bet to breaking this is to get this gen done, seeing as it's the furthest away from the other 2. Get on it. Ooh! Got a little jump scare. Alright, I'm popping. Ooh, she almost hit me. Another tip, when you're in chase, try to look behind you every few seconds. Try to keep your eyes on the killer for a little bit. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to get her to chase me away from the generators. But this killer is actually pretty smart, and because of that, she dropped me. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this mushroom, get rid of this infection. Open this chest, look for a medkit. And no medkit. Man, luck is not on my side today. If you notice, too, I can't see the aura of pallets or vaults anymore. That's because of an add-on she's using. Which is kind of strange. You usually don't see stuff like that too often. It's not too useful. Oh, here she is again. See how much time we can buy. Probably not a lot. She caught me off guard. Yep. And you see, there's a mistake that a lot of newer survivors get when they see or experience something like this. They tend to get angry. You shouldn't get angry, guys. This is how the majority of your solo queue games are going to go. And it really also depends on the killer you get. Some killers are really, really good at the game. Other killers are really, really bad. It's almost never an in-between, but it also depends on the killer you're going against as well. Not just the player, but the actual killer and their power. Alright. This killer is playing kind of scummy, but as a killer main, it's the only really optimal thing they can do, sadly. They're kind of just proxy camping. Now, I have a theory that this killer is using an aura reading perk, which is why I'm not running away and I'm actually sticking kind of close in the hopes that, yep, they're gonna go away. Now, one very important thing to note here. That Fang, I repaired the generator while she was on the hook because that little red bar underneath her name, that indicates how long she can stay on there before progressing to the second hook stage. And she had Deliverance. Okay, that's actually really good. Deliverance is an Adam Francis perk. I think, is his last name Francis? I don't know, something like that. Okay, now, that Claire Redfield is working on the gen, and the reason why I'm working on this one is just in case she gets chased off of it. If we can spread out progress between generators, it looks like she's going to get it done. This Fang is actually kind of... Yep, this Fang is looping the crap out of the killer. Ooh, the Claire Redfield was using one of Meg's perks, Adrenaline, so she got healed after the last gen was completed. Now, I'm just going to stick this exit gate. It looks like the Claire's on the other one. Now, if I wasn't on Death Hook, I would probably try to meet up with the Claire, get healed, and run. However, because I'm in solo queue and I don't have comms with the Claire, the best thing I can do right now is ensure my own survival. Open the exit gate, and we are out. GG's. Now, for the second game, I'm going to swap over to a med kit just because last game we were injured the majority of the time. Should help a little bit. Alright, Raccoon City Police Station. Lots of pallets. Should be a decent win. I don't know who the killer is this time. I didn't see it on the tooltip. My ping's a little high. You can see in the top left above my name there. I am also the Obsession, which is actually... Ooh, a nurse. Those, like, fangs around my name right there on the left side of the screen, that means I'm the Obsession. And because I don't have any Obsession perks, that could mean that this killer is using one. Now, when the killer's close, a lot of people instinctively like to get in lockers, which is not a good idea, especially if you're healthy, meaning you can be hit twice before you go down. Because if a killer opens a locker and you're in there, they basically get a free down, and they carry you and throw you on the hook almost immediately. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't, though. Alright, got that gen done. We're going to use our Deja Vu to see where these other gens are. You always want to try and get the generator in the middle, like the middlemost part, done. So that way you can minimize the amount of 3 gens remaining. As the Obsession, I kind of want to be stealthy. Oh, right, there's the killer. She saw me. Ooh! Oh, they stunned her. Ooh. None of my teammates are on generators. That's rough. She probably has a... There we go. Oh, vault the window. Vault it. Ooh! Oh, I was... Ooh. If I was just a second faster. Okay, you do not want to do this. So, yeah, this is very stupid. This killer is using a perk called Iron Grasp, which makes it so it takes longer for survivors to break out of their struggle, really. And that Nia Carlson, she tried to buy me some time to wiggle off, but she doesn't know the nurse has Iron Grasp. So she basically just wasted one of her own health states for nothing. Alright. She went ahead and healed me on hook. The only reason she healed me is because the nurse was in chase. I'm gonna go up here on this gen. That was Pain Resonance the nurse was using. Another perk I showed in my last tutorial video. Now, usually you would never want to do this, hiding in a locker, but because it's a nurse and she's kind of far away, it's not the worst idea. Sit here and wait with the... Is this Michaela? Yeah, I think it is. Alright. Notice too how when you get in the locker, you cannot see that. Wow, that was a close dodge. You cannot see auras when you're in a locker. Be kind of broken if you could. The Michaela's putting up a boon totem. A boon totem is basically a perk that applies to every survivor within... Ooh, crap, scared me. Within a certain radius. Yep, right there's the icon. So the perk she has is called Shadow Step, which basically hides all scratch marks of the survivors within this totem's area. I'm gonna heal, see if the nurse will come back to me. Nope. So, I think the nurse has an aura reading perk that allows her to see survivors who are healing. That is a perk she has as a killer, but I'm not sure if this killer player is using that perk. Go ahead and give that statue a little rub for good luck. We still have Shadow Step, so we can run. That gen's done. Alright. All gens are done. No one's dead. I know the nurse is to my left. I just heard her fatigue sound. Gonna go for the gate. Oh, someone's already on it. Good. Alright. With botany knowledge, we should be able to heal her pretty quick. Yeah, plus the medkit. Look at those heal speeds, baby. My goodness. There we go. Now, we're actually in a pretty good position here. The Michaela just got ripped out of a locker. But, okay, yeah, we're all healthy, but the Michaela. And they clearly want to go back for the Michaela, which is why they 99% that gate. But you're going to see why you don't do this, ever. Nia just got down. Michaela was just hooked. The Yunjin got injured. And I'm debating on whether or not I should even go for the save. They're all down. I'm thinking of going for the save. If I can maybe sprint burst in and grab the Michaela. This nurse is looking for me. She saw me. And yeah, we're just leaving. We're just leaving. This is how quickly confidence kills in Dead by Daylight. Do not be ashamed to save yourself and only yourself. This was, in my opinion, a Swift that was simply trying to get one another out. But you should never do this. This is why 99ing an exit gate, as a general rule of thumb, is not a good thing. This killer just went from losing horribly to being given a free win. So yeah, make sure to follow this advice, and if you like the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.